are live. We are live. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to the live. Yet another day. It's on Monday. Today is on Monday, the 16th. Okay, God, we keep showing up. Today is March. Welcome to the live, you guys. Welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's yet another good day, and we are having an amazing topic. Right here, we are talking about how to deal with toxic family members, and so it's going to be uh some place because all of us have family members. Okay, so I think we are gonna be talking more from like an understanding point, or like what is it called, an experience point of view. Okay, we are gonna be talking from an experience point of view. So yes, yet another amazing day. We are live. How has my weekend been? My weekend have been good. I cannot complain. I watched Friday, Saturday. I watched so much, and then Sunday it was just tiresome. I did laundry. So that's what has been going. So today is on Monday, and yes, we gotta show up. So how was your weekend, you guys? Let me know where you're watching me from. Say hi. I'm gonna shout you out right here. My name is Wambo. If this is your first time seeing me, like, subscribe. Yes, we normally go live every day, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So convert that to your local time, and you will always find me right here. Okay, so we're talking about how to deal with difficult or toxic family members. So all of us at some point in our lives have felt like, oh, I don't like this family member, or like this is toxic. But are we able to move away? Especially like for example, in African countries, people are so much into families, or so much into like, I want to stay in contact with family. But we're gonna unravel all the other side, so you guys feel seen, feel safe. Let me know where you're watching me from. Yet another amazing day. Hello. Yes. So over the weekend I watched Blue Therapy, and I watched Age of Attraction. Okay, I I don't know if you guys would be interested in like hearing my review. I might be doing a review very soon. Okay, yes. So you guys, welcome to the live. That's how my weekend have been. So yet another day, we are talking about how to deal with difficult or toxic family members. All of us have had families at some point in our lives. So how do you deal with toxic family members? So that's what we'll be talking about. And you know, as usual, your girl is gonna be vulnerable, and I would like your vulnerability also. So you guys, let me know how you guys are doing. Like, subscribe. And I think without further ado, as I wait for you guys to tune in, to say hi, to like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so people always say family is everything. But what happens when family becomes the hardest uh, the hardest part to deal with? Okay, most people say that like family is supposed to be the place where you run to where when there is storms outside. But some of the time, what happens when family is the storm? What happens when you can't run home when there is storms outside? Because that's where the storms are coming from. So that's what we're going to be talking about in yet another good day. My name is Wamboy. Good to see you all. Yet another week. Let me know how you guys are doing. Me personally, I'm doing great. Like the live, share the love, sub the queen. My name is Wamboy. Yes, we are going to be starting at minute 5. So still you guys, I'm giving you a chance to say hi. So, and you know what, I'm just gonna kickstart and start. We are gonna just get started. Okay, and if you're just tuning in, my name is Wamboy. Good to see you all. Like, subscribe, you know. So people always say that family is the place where you run when there's rain outside, when there's storms outside. But sometimes family is the storm. Okay, so how do you deal with toxic family members? How do you deal with people that you care so much about them, you've loved them all your life, that's all you've known? How do you deal with that? Okay, so how do you deal with that? So that's what we're going to be talking about. And first of all, I would like us to be talking about why family conflicts hurt more than conflicts with strangers. Okay, you know, the other day I was thinking in my mind, I was thinking, if the family members that I have, if I wasn't related to them, would I want to be their friends? Would I want to be their friend? So that's what I was thinking. Like, if these family members that I have, if they were not my family, would I pursue them? Would I want them to be? Would I want them to be my friend? And that was such a humbling thought, because okay, let me start reading. Vincius, hello to you, Vincius. How are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome to the live. Thank you so much for tuning in. Diama says, like the live, share the love, sub the queen. Welcome to the live. Let me know if you were not related to your family members. If you were not related to them, would you want them to be your friends? Okay, because it's actually a thought that I had recently. I was thinking about if I didn't know these people. Okay, if I wasn't related to them by blood, would I want to be their friend? And most of them, especially when it comes to siblings, I'm not even lying. When it comes to siblings, most of them, no, I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to be friends with them. Okay, so let me know, you guys, if your family members were not your family members, would you want to be they're just out there, would you want to make them your friends? Think about their character, think about what you love about them, think about what you don't love about them. Would you want them to still be your family members? Daima says, hey, rough morning, but I made it. Thank you for making it. Welcome to the live. Vincia says, I'm doing well. What about you? I'm doing great. Where are you watching me from? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the family. San says, hello, director and producer. Hello to you, San. Welcome to the live. So that question that I'm asking you guys, I would like to know your opinions. Like, would you be friends with your family members if they were not your family members? Okay. So we're asking ourselves the question, why family conflicts hurt more than conflict with strangers? I think why it hurt more when like our family members hurt us, the reason why it hurts more is because we expect these people to be protecting us, we expect these people to be loving on us, we expect these people to be like where we run to when there's problems. But when it comes to like they're the ones who are creating problems, then it's some of these arguments you expect to be having with strangers, but when it comes to like you're experiencing that at home, it's really like humbling. San says, how are you, dear friend? I'm doing great. How are you, San? For the first time you asked. Okay, for the first time you asked. So guys, welcome to the live. Good to see you all. My name is Wamboy. We are talking about how to deal with difficult family members and toxic family members. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. And I was asking, if you are not related with your family members, would you want them to be your friend? Are these people who you are? Would you pursue these people if they were not your family? Would you want them to be your friends? Judith Wanjala, hi Judith, good to see you. Welcome to the live. Let me know where you're watching me from. So there's another also, especially in African countries, there's another, I don't know if it's a myth or it's a misconception, like something that tells you that you have to respect what family thinks, even if it's not for you. Okay, understanding that you can love family but still disagree. We don't have that. Like, we don't have that perception of like, you know what, I can love my family but still disagree with them. We are not allowed to have that. So that's also another one. So also the other thing that most of us are not able to do is recognize toxic patterns in families. Happy Makamu, hi Happy, good to see you. Welcome to the live. Let me know where you're watching me from. Let me know some of the toxic things that you see in family members, and if your family members were not your family members, would you want to be friends with them? Okay. Recognizing toxic patterns. Most of us do not recognize toxic patterns when it comes to families. Oh, you recognize, but you're like, you know what, my mom is supposed to abuse me. Okay, you know what, that's just how my dad is. He's just abusive, he's that violent. Okay, you kind of like, especially people, some of us who grew up in like violent households, you get to a point where like you're like, this is just what it is. Okay. Judy says, Kenya, thank you for joining. If you're not family with if you're not family with your family members, would you make them your friends? Kagiso Lekala says, hey baby, hey you Kagiso, welcome to the live, guys. Like, subscribe. Diamond says, like the live, share the love, sub the queen. Okay. So the other thing is learning when to step back from arguments. you know, like most of the time we just argue with our family members because we don't know that we can walk away. Okay, and this brings me to the question that I wanted to ask today. Is it okay to cut off family? Is it okay to cut off family? According to your opinion, would you cut off your family members? So that's something. Is it okay to cut off family members? You know, in this current generation, or like in our generation, Gen Z, some of us are just walking away from toxic situations at home. Like, you know what, this isn't serving me, and you're walking away. So, in your opinion, is it okay to cut off your family members? Would you cut off your mom and dad if they were just crossing a line? Like, let's say they are being violent, they are being abusive, they are like, being around them doesn't propel your growth. Would you cut off your family members? So that's actually a question that I'm posing to you guys. Would you cut off your family members if how they're treating you, how they are, maybe they're dynamic? Would you cut them off if it's toxic? Because some of us, especially in African countries, that's literally a taboo. You cannot do that. You cannot cut off your family. Like, you just stay there. You allow yourself to be disrespected, and that's okay, you know. Yeah, so okay, let me pin that. Would you cut off your family members, including mama and dad, if they were toxic? Okay, and you know what, this is also a question to myself. Would you cut off your, let me tell you, for me it's difficult, especially when it comes to immediate parents like mom and dad. So the question is, would you cut off your family members, including mom and dad, if they were toxic? Okay. So I think personally, I can be able to cut off siblings. I can be able to cut off siblings. I can literally decide that I literally don't want anything to do with a sibling. But when it comes to a parent, I have that like guilty conscience. I cannot do that. Like, I cannot cut. I'm not able to cut off my parents, even if they are toxic. I'm not able to do that. But when it comes to siblings, I am really willing to walk. I'm gonna be walking. Okay, we are gonna meet on the other side. So you guys, so this is a question to also you. Let me know. Would you cut off your family members, including your mom and dad, if they are being toxic? Okay, guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Good to see you all. Yeah, so we are talking about a topic that is literally kind of like a taboo: how to deal with difficult family members. Janet Mawia Oza, hi Janet, good to see you. Welcome to the live. Would you cut off your family members if they were being toxic? For me cutting off, like, I can cut off siblings but not mom and dad. Like, I still have that guilty conscience. Hi to you, Janet. Welcome to the live. Okay, and actually, the fact that I said that, like, I'm not able to cut off mom and dad without feeling guilty, it brings me to the point, setting boundaries with family without feeling guilty. How are you able to set boundaries with family, especially like when it comes to parents, when it comes to siblings? How are you able to set boundaries without feeling like, you know what I'm saying, like, without feeling the guilt? Personally, I subscribed for you. Thank you, Janet. Thank you. Welcome to the family. Okay. So would you set a boundary with your, are you able setting boundaries with family without feeling guilty? Are you able to set a boundary with your family without feeling guilty? And guys, I asked a question. Would you cut off your family members, including mom and dad, if they were being toxic? My name, welcome to the live. I'm definitely by far the worst member of my family. Why are you the worst member of your family? What do you do? Are you toxic? Do you believe that you're toxic towards your family members? So literally, to just like let you into my family dynamic, or like how we normally stay. Personally, I've always been different. Okay, not like I'm different in terms of like the way I look. I literally look like them, but I've always been different in terms of like what I'm willing to tolerate. Okay, I tolerate a lot, but I want to tolerate these things in a distance. Like, I want to be there in a distance, but most of the time is like literally usually so hard, especially existing with family in the same space. I'm talking about myself. It's very difficult because sometimes I'll see something and I'm like, literally, I don't like that. And then I just get the worst type of anxieties when I'm around family, because it's always issues. It's always like, oh, this, that, and not to mention like the fact that you can't be yourself when you're around family. I know some of you can be yourself when you're around family, but some of us, we can't be ourselves. Especially, let's say, for example, right now we have the whole issue of LGBTQ, whatever, gay, whatever. Okay, some of us, especially in African households, you cannot be that without hearing opinions from people. Okay, another thing, especially when it comes to career, you're gonna be told what you're gonna do. Okay, and you're gonna be told, and that's it, period. You're gonna be told. So how do you set boundaries with family without feeling guilty? And how do you communicate your boundaries respectfully? Okay, I think I can be the worst person to like talk about how to set boundaries with family, because I don't know how to do that. Most of the time I'll end up saying yes even though I know my answer is a no. Like, I don't know how to say no to family members, which is something that I'm trying to do right now, because healing is a journey. And maybe I would like to to write this down. Healing is a process, and wholeness is the destination. Okay, healing is a process, and wholeness is the destination. So I think I would be the worst person to tell you guys that, oh, I know how to set boundaries, do this, do that. No, I am the worst type of person when it comes to boundaries. I literally have no boundaries when it comes to family, but I'm trying, and I think, first of all, being away from family is one of the ways that you can be able to start setting boundaries, by just being far away. My name says feeling guilty about boundaries means they are working. Feeling guilty about boundaries means they are working. Oh, means my boundaries are working. Let me tell you, I will say no. Like, maybe a family member will call me, they say I say no to something, and then I'll just call them back and say yes. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm just gaslit or what type of manipulation I go through. Even when I say no, I end up saying yes, or I end up thinking, did I do the right thing? What if this person? And the other thing is like, what if they pass away? Like, will I be able to live with myself because I said no? So guys, are you able to set boundaries with your families? Are you able to set boundaries? Are you able to say, like, literally, I cannot do this? So my name says, me feeling guilty about boundaries means they are working. I wish they were. Them says, I understand your point, but I just don't get why people allow someone to screw up their life just because they are related. Let me tell you, some of us growing up, it's like you're told over and over again, like, uh blood is thicker than water, and that's it. Like, you keep being reminded that blood is thicker than water. So it's like, blood is thicker than water. So even if this person is being a jerk, even if this person is screwing up your life, even if this person is being abusive, the fact that they are family, there's nothing that you can do. You're just told that you're meant to persevere. But you know what, I am learning. Okay, I am learning, because I think sometimes I've allowed people that I wasn't, if they were friends, or if they were just people that I had met, they were friends, I would literally cut them off. I have allowed some of the family members to like screw me over, to like walk on top of my head, just because they're family, because I don't know how to set that boundary. So the answer to you, Diamas, is like, it's something that when you're building a habit, is a habit is built, not a habit or a muscle memory is not built in one day. It's built over and over again. Like, every day you wake up and you're reminded of these things. So by the time you are a grown up like me, I already know that blood is thicker than water, and there's nothing that I can do about that. Okay, so which means already okay so which means already, like, which means already I think, oh my god, I cannot do that, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. So yeah, so you don't do that on purpose, or like, you don't allow people to screw you over on purpose. Abraham Gabriel says, damn, she talks loud like she's screaming for help. Relax, I am asking for help, will you help me? Okay, you know what, adjust the sound in your phone or something. Adjust, you know what, you have your volume at 100 and then you're blaming me. Okay, adjust your sound. or something. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so should family come first? Should family come first? Especially when you're talking about your own needs, uh, how you need help. I don't know. How do I need help? You tell me. Uh, should family come first, especially when it comes to maybe okay when it comes to yourself, when it comes to yourself and your family, what comes first? Should family always come first? Should family always come first? So that's a question that I'm asking you guys. In your opinion, do you think family should always come first? Okay, you said that like okay, you know what, Abraham, I cannot do this, okay? So I don't know, adjust your sound. Should family always come first? Should family always come first in your opinion? I think family comes second to yourself, because first of all you cannot be giving something that you don't have. Okay, that's it. You literally cannot be giving something that you don't have. So you have to come from a place of fullness, or like from a place of like maybe overflowing, you know what I'm saying? So should all family always come first? I think no, like you should come first before your family, because at the end of the day, if you're not in the right correct mental state, you're gonna lose yourself and you will have nothing for them to come first. But okay, but I say that, but most of the time family always come first. I say that like we should come first before family, but most of the time, especially for people who have that like guilty conscience or something, family always come first. Let me tell you, sometimes you'll be like you want to do something, but then on the same day, let's say on the same day, one of your family member wants you to do something. Okay, let's say you are planning to go on vacation on Tuesday next week, and then your parent want you to help them do something the same exact date. So which means you end up postponing your vacation or like whatever you wanted to do, so that you can be there for your parent. So see how that works? So I think we say that we should always come first before family, but that never happens. Dema says you should come first in your life always. Okay. uh so how do you communicate boundaries respectfully? How do you tell somebody, you know what, uh how do you tell them I cannot do this? Like for example, somebody might be wanting you to do something, or like somebody might be coming at you in a particular way. How do you communicate boundaries? Okay, somebody might be using vulgar language around you, or curse words or stuff. How do you communicate boundaries and say like, you know what, I don't allow people do that around me? How do you say that? Because first of all, for me, sometimes I know exactly what I need my family to stop doing. I literally know exactly to the T. And if a stranger asks me, I'm gonna know, or I'm gonna tell them what I want. But when it comes to like me personally communicating that to a person, it becomes really difficult. So you gotta ask yourself how do you communicate the boundaries? How do you say literally I don't want this or I don't want that? Okay. uh, Something that I've realized when it comes to setting boundaries, you have, okay, even if you have that guilty conscience, like I said that I do have, you have to be in a place where you want to protect your mental peace. Okay, so especially one of the ways that you can do that, maybe if you're living in a toxic household, you can move out. That's one of the things that you can do. Or if you're not able to communicate your boundaries, you can be able to move out. Because I realize in African households we have the multi-generational living. For example, for our family, we do that. We have this vast amount of land and we keep dividing it. You have a child, you divide it, and then they have a child, they divide it. So that's it. So most of the time we end up never moving out because we already have the land. Okay, but I realize that like most people should start embracing that. If you guys are being toxic to each other, you're not planted there. You can move away if possible. So that's one of the things that I have embraced. And not to say that my family is bad, we are just talking about scenarios. Okay. uh when family doesn't support your life choices, career choices, family, so how do you deal with that? Like, for example, you choose a career and then one of your family members, or most of your family members are saying, you know what, you cannot pursue this, you cannot pursue that, do this. Especially we know there are families who only know 3 careers, or like 4: pilot, doctor, uh pilot, doctor, maybe nurse, teacher. um it's like 4 of them, and your family is so obsessed for you to become that. So when you're not able to become that, and your family is just so stuck on that, what do you do? Lawyer, when your family is just so stuck on like that, when your family is so stuck on like what they want you to do instead of like what you want to do. Some of us, we want to pursue an entertainment career, for example, doing this, but you could find out your family discouraging you. Some people just want to draw, some people want to play soccer, but we all know that it doesn't start paying. It takes like a couple of years for you to build something that can start generating income. But because they cannot see the result, now it's like they're condemning you. Now it's like you're not doing good. Now it's like you're not trying. You know what I'm saying? So guys, welcome to the live. We're talking about how to deal with difficult family members or toxic family members. Let me know your situations. You can say hi. Let me know where you're watching me from. My name is Omboy. Like, subscribe, feel welcome on here. I'm talking about when family doesn't support your life choices. How do you deal with that? You're pursuing a career that they are not in support of. They think you're not chasing your dreams. They think you know, all these things. And at this point, you've seen people go for other careers. People have gone to become football players. But we all know it doesn't start paying until a particular period of time. Somebody wants to become a fashion designer. Somebody wants to become an artist. Okay? And all of these things. Diamond says, I think about the parents of rock stars that once told their kid they are wasting their time. Honestly, I think I know like four people who've come out and said that their parents never supported them when they started. It's like, you're wasting your time, this is nonsense. And then this person makes it out there and then they are well known. Can you imagine what? And you know what? After you make it, they want to be your family members. Mercy KE, Mishi, is it Missy or Mishi? Missy KE says, hi from Mudaiga. Hi to you. Welcome to the live, guys. My name is Omboy. Like the live, you guys. Share the love, sub the queen. You know, Diamonds brought up a very interesting thing. Like, most of these parents to like rock stars, they told them no. They told them that you can't become. Actually, I was trying to think, who am I thinking their parents told them no? It's Aisha Speed, okay? His mother, okay, because he started streaming as a teenager, like he started streaming in his bedroom as a teenager playing games. The mother was always shouting, and it was even caught on camera, like, just stop, nonsense, and stuff like that. Okay, and right now, after he made it, he bought her a house. Can you imagine that? And now she wants to be associated with him. Literally, you kind of understand, because of course she wanted the best for the kid, and the best was going to school because he was still in, I think, school. So sometimes our parents, they want us to pursue these other careers because that's what they think. And sometimes our parents' limitation, our parents' expectation of what they want us to do, it can literally limit what you're able to achieve, especially if you've just listened to them without listening to yourself. Dema says, like the live, share the love, sub the queen, Hujambo from Kenya. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. Good to see you all. We are talking about how do you deal with toxic family members. We've talked about setting boundaries. I've talked about my whole thing of like feeling guilt. Are you able to cut off family? So yeah, I think especially this whole thing of like, I'm gonna be working online, or people saying that they're gonna work online. That's one thing that like most families cannot support. Pitman Gusen, hey, thank you for coming back. How are you doing? Welcome. The parents have been giving us like pressure to. Your parents wants you to become a doctor, and just doctor and doctor. Okay, you want to become a creator. You want to become a musician, and your parent is just sitting there wondering, what are you saying? Like, how is that gonna pay your bills? But sometimes you got, I was listening to a song before I started the show. uh it says daydream. Okay, the song is called Daydream. You guys can look that song up. It says like sometimes you don't have to go to sleep to daydream. You can have your daydreams. If your dreams do not scare you, if your dreams do not make you nervous, are they really dreams? Are they even worth it? If your dreams make you anxious, if your dreams make you doubt them, that's the daydream, and you literally need to have the daydream. So that's what I was listening before I started the show. You guys, welcome to the live. You're still talking about how to deal with difficult or toxic family members. Okay, so Pietman Gusen, thank you for the love. Uh-huh. Daima says, I have to admit, I'm old school. If I had a kid and they wanted to be a YouTuber, I would send them to their room and tell them to think about what you just said. Ah, okay. Okay, you would literally put them on time out or something. Okay, let me tell you, God. First of all, even me, when before I saw YouTube as like an opportunity or something, I was always like, this is literally a joke. Just go and look for something. But let me tell you, YouTube have changed so many people's lives. Yeah, there are people who have pursued music. At first it's lonely. They're just by themselves, maybe no support. But let me tell you, it all makes sense when they get up there. They defeat everybody who's been working for like 20 years, build something, a legacy. Within 2 years they build a legacy that could have been built within 20 years. So I think at this point, because sometimes you don't have the vision, but the person who is pursuing that have the vision, and that's what parents need to understand. Don't discourage your child. Like, they want to be an artist, they want to draw, they want to sing. Do not discourage your child. That is their dream, not yours. Okay, you're just old school. Maybe you didn't have a lot of options to pursue things, and they can do that. Why not encourage them? Even if they fail, that's another chance of like learning to start something new. Okay, at the end of the day they will come out with experience. So this pressure to follow traditional paths, like I said, doctor, lawyer, engineer, stuff like that. But I think that's one thing that this generation and like our parents' generation cannot agree with. But you know what, you respect your kids' decisions, and they know what's best for them. So how do you respect parents while still chasing your own life? How do you respect parents? They want you to do this, they want you to do that. So how do you respect them while still chasing your own life? Diversity, I agree with that. I agree with that. Sometimes there's a lot of gain from failing. Yeah, there is. I do believe there is. I do believe there is. You kind of learn. And you know what? We are gonna be starting over so many times in this life. So I don't think there's anything to be afraid about. You guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. Good to see you all. How are you guys doing? Where are you watching me from? Like the live, you guys. We are talking about how to deal with toxic family members or difficult family members. Let me know, how do you deal with family members? So for me, when it comes to nuclear family, that one I cannot say a lot, okay? But when it comes to extended family, I have allowed people to walk all over me my whole life, okay? Because that's what I was taught. I was taught that, like, you allow people to walk all over you. Thomas Jostrom says, good evening from Sweden. Good evening to you. How are you doing? Oh my God, all the way from Sweden. Welcome to the live. How are you doing? So what's your thought on the topic? So I was saying, when it comes to relatives, I've always allowed relatives to walk all over me, especially cousins, uncles, aunts. Right now, I don't tolerate that nonsense. Okay, especially, okay, I can extend some grace to siblings, But don't be my aunt and disrespect me, okay? Don't be my cousin and disrespect me, look down on me, compete with me, bully me. No, you're not doing that right now. I'm gonna call you out. But yeah, so I think that's something that I'm proud of, because we always allowed or in African traditional lifestyle, you're just allowed to let your relatives control you, your relatives say things that are mean to you, disrespect you. You know, I no longer show up in those places anymore. Family gatherings that I know that they're gonna be disrespectful, I really do not care. I don't update them about my progress. I don't talk to them. I just vanish, okay? They don't know how I'm doing, or and I really don't know how they're doing, stuff like that. Then says you respect them by listening to their advice and taking it to heart, even by going so far as to explain to them how you considered their advice before making the decision that's right for you. Wow, that's a smart one. That's a smart one. But you know what? Sometimes parents are so stuck on the idea of who they want you to be, without just allowing you to be. Like, oh, you're just so stuck in what the vision that you had for me. Okay, you're so stuck back there. But you know what? That version that you wanted me to be is not coming to life. So this is the version that we have right here. I can see why you can explain to them how this is life changing, or how this is good, how this is bad. But then at the same time, it's like, okay. So you guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. Good to see you all. Like the live, share the love, serve the queen. So basically, should you follow your dreams even if your family disagrees? Should you follow your dreams even if your family disagrees? So that's literally a very interesting thing to think about. Should you follow your dreams even if your family disagrees? I think yes, because most of the time you're gonna regret not following them. You're gonna be blaming people for not following your dreams. I don't care if it's your parent. I don't care if it's your sibling. You just follow your dreams. Go and be what you wanna be, because at the end of the day, this is your life and you get to live it once. You get to live it once. At the end of the day, let me tell you, when it gets dark and time to go to sleep, you're the one who lives with the choices that you made for yourself. Okay. uh there was also another question that, like, I was asking myself: do parents sometimes project their fears onto their children? Do parents sometimes project their fears onto their children? I think yes. Most of the time, some of our fears that we live through, or the fears that we have, they're not really ours. Okay, guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Good to see you all. Like the live, share the love, sub the queen. So I think some of the fears that we hold, or some of the fears that we carry from one generation to another, they're not really ours. They're just things that we found our parents fearing. Okay, they are things that it was their fear, not yours. Okay, some of these things, especially, I would like to maybe make an example with, like, um, colorism. Okay, this is something that you learn, and mostly the first how you learn about it is from your parents. They fear that you're going to be maybe racially discriminated. They fear these things, so of course they're gonna prepare you how to handle that. And most of the time, parents should just allow children to just be, or like to experience these things firsthand, so that they can make the decision that they do make. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Good to see you all. I was born and raised in Kenya, so this is your first time seeing me. Welcome. I normally go live every day, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, so you can always be looking for me at that hour. Okay. So which one is better? Okay. So protecting your peace by walking away, or staying connected to the same people that are hurting you. Remember, we are talking about family. So which one is better according to you? Protecting your peace by walking away, or staying connected? So which one is better to you? Protecting your peace by protecting your peace by walking away, or staying connected? I think according to me, it's like I don't know. It depends if it's extended family or like nuclear family. When it's extended family, of course, walk away. When it's nuclear family, then you kind of have some grace with that. You kind of have some grace with that. But, you know, at some point, you're going to just be taking so much. You can only take so much, you know. Mm-hmm. Happy Makam says, hey, Happy, welcome to the live. How are you doing? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Fighting you? Why? Why fighting me? Why fighting me? So guys, we have a question right there. I think I've just pinned it. Which is better, protecting your peace by walking away or staying connected to your family? Which one is better, protecting your peace by walking away or staying connected to your family? I think both of them are. You can consider it depends with the relationship, but most of like, I think the safest one is walking away, because when you walk away there won't be problems, but when you stay you're gonna be experiencing things that you shouldn't be experiencing. So guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Guys, like the live, share the love, sub the queen. Ahadaima says my answer stays the same. Run. Don't walk away from family. Toxic is toxic. No one gets to ruin my life except me. No one gets to ruin my life except me. Okay, run. Let me tell you some. Fighting you. What's your name? Fighting you. My name is Wamboy. My name is Wamboy. Uh-huh. Okay? Deva says nobody gets to ruin his life apart from himself, which is literally reasonable, okay? Ooh. Okay, run. Let me tell you. I wish it was that easy. I wish it was. But I feel like most people stay connected as far as like their parents are still here. Especially, you can have toxic siblings, but when your parents are gone, when your parents are not there anymore, it's like you don't have anything that's connecting you. My name is Wamboy. My name is Wamboy. Wamboy. Okay? Like the name of the channel. That's my name. How are you doing? Good to see you all. Like the live, guys. Subscribe. You know, we're talking about how do you deal with difficult family members or toxic family members. And we have a question that's pinned there. Which one is better, protecting your peace by walking away or staying connected? You know, because sometimes walking away means you disconnecting from these people. So which one is better according to you? Uh, so in your opinion, have your parents ever limited your dreams? So in your opinion, have your parents ever limited your dreams? Okay, I like asking myself this question, but you guys can feel free to like jump in and answer. Wycliffe for Fuller says hi. Hi Wycliffe, good to see you. Welcome to the live. Guys, like the live. PST? What does that mean? No, I feel like personally, my parents have never limited my dreams because I'm so outgoing and I know what I want literally out of life. Dr. D, am I reading that right? Uh, Dr. Demon, hi. Hi, welcome to the live, Dr. Demon. Good to see you. Deva says, like the live, share the love, sub the queen. Do you speak Hood? Do I speak Hood? Is it a dialect of English or what is it? I don't know what Hood is. Or am I from the Hood? What's the question, Dr. Demon? You guys have amazing names. I can sit here and read and laugh. Okay. So have your parents ever limited your dreams according to you? So have my parents ever limited my dreams? No. No, because you can only be limited if you don't have your own dreams. You can only be limited if you don't have your own personality and you rely on your parents. Because at some point you gotta grow up. You gotta grow up and become an adult. And when that happens, you decide things. They have their opinion. They are advising you to do this, that. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I got it. Okay, because it's my life. Okay. Oh, there's another thing. So we've talked about when your family doesn't support your career. How about when your family doesn't support or they don't approve the spouse that you choose? How do you deal with that? Like your parent doesn't approve your spouse for whatever reason, they don't like him or her. So what happens when your family doesn't approve your spouse? Or what would happen in your case? Would you allow them to tell you to walk away from your spouse, or this is not the best person for you? Remember, you love this person. So what, I know that's common in like African household and maybe Indian household and yeah, places like that. That's common, but uh how do you deal when your parent doesn't approve the spouse that you want? uh Honestly, because but I know maybe it's coming from a place of stubbornness, but for me, they have to approve. Okay, they can have their opinion, but at the end of the day, I'm the one who's gonna be living this reality. Most of the time when you don't respect your parents by hearing what they're saying, or like by not, okay, for example, they tell you this person is not right for you and you go forward. Sometimes maybe they were saying something that you didn't see, but at the end of the day, that cannot be an excuse for me to leave someone, or like for me not to pursue a relationship. Because at the end of the day, first of all, I'm trying to create a relationship better than theirs. I'm trying to create a relationship. So of course they cannot identify what I want, or like what I want can be a red flag to them, or something that is like, oh, we don't like this, we don't like that. But at the end of the day, I'm the one who's gonna be living with that person or that partner that I'm choosing. So the answer to like what happens when your parents say no to tell you no, like we don't support you getting married to this person, we don't support you being in a relationship with this person. At the end of the day, I am gonna choose that person. Courageous says, are you married? No, I'm not married, but I'm engaged. Guys, welcome to the live. Good to see you all. Let me know how you guys are doing. Dema says, wow, that's actually a harder question, assuming you're talking about good, loving, supportive parents. Ultimately, it's about me and my one love. But if you know they are looking out for you, yeah, most of the time they are looking out for you. But for for some of them, okay, they are just seeing with their judgmental eyes. Okay, that's it. Like they're just looking at it like, oh, this, we don't like this person, and that's it. Mostly because maybe themselves, they are toxic, or they were toxic to each other. Especially if my parents were toxic to each other, I will never hear their advice about love, because what do they have to say? Which experience do they have in like experiencing good love? Bob says, a divided, hello Bob, good to see you. He says, a divided family is an easy way to maintain generational poverty. And let me tell you, a united family where there is violence is also an easy way to maintain trauma. Okay? Bob says a divided family is an easy way to maintain generational poverty. And I say a united family where there is violence, where there is disrespect, is a good way to maintain generational trauma. Okay? Oh my god, I have never seen it like that. There was this, a divided family is easy way to break out of poverty. Let me tell you, especially when you come to African household where there is black tax, or like your parents feel entitled so much to you, or like your siblings, maybe because they educated you, maybe because they gave you opportunities that for them it was a sacrifice, which means they're always gonna be dragging you behind, dragging you. You're trying to move up, they're dragging you, they're bringing issues every time there's an issue. Okay, so I think you'd rather be divided, be yourself, and go be. When you're just being by yourself, you're not trying to please anyone, you do things according to your own rules, you judge yourself according to what you want. Bob says it depends. Ideally, I'd hope to have united and no trauma. Okay? Unfortunately, some of us, we have trauma. So, like, we come from families with traumas. Like, it's like And you know, I think the generation of our parents is the generation where they stayed for the children most of the time. They were being abusive to each other, but they stayed for the children. So those are the type of people that we want to be united with. No, we would rather walk away and everybody go be without having limitations. Go be everything that they ever wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. Like the live, share the love, sub the queen. Bob says kids having access to uncles and aunties across different industries would help their career. It would help their career, but if the uncles and aunts are abusive, there's no need of having them around. And I say that as somebody who had like very, very, very toxic aunties and uncles. Sorry, hope they never watch this video. Or like selfish ones, okay? When family becomes all about competition, or like who is doing well in life, who have what, who is able to do what, when family becomes all about that, it just really becomes such a toxic place, okay? Because sometimes you are like, I just wish my parents didn't bring me around these people, you know what I'm saying? But okay, you know, like when family is all about competition, why are we staying in this family? Okay, why are we even related? You know, what I'm saying. So it's literally such a double-edged sword. When you walk away from these people, it's not good. When you stay, it's not good. So Bob says, I have an uncle who would hide career opportunities. Let me tell you, I literally stopped with that when I first came out of university. Of course, I was thinking, okay, not when I first came out. I was still in university, but at that time, I was looking for attachment. And I was talking to some of my family members, like, oh, can you help me connect me to this, that? And that's the time that I quickly realized that I would never be connected. Like, these people would never connect you, even they would never, because they are afraid that maybe you'll have the same opportunity like they do. So from that point on, I have just always been by myself. I never ask for opportunities from people, relatives. You know, I will never call my aunt, like, can you connect me to this opportunity, even though I know maybe they have access. I will never do that. I'm gonna create my own path, you know. And that's why I say sometimes, is family really even worth it? Is it a competition thing or something? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a really what is it called, tight space to be in, guys. And I'm still asking, if your parents told you no to a fiance or to somebody that you like, they said, you know what, this person is not supposed to be for you, so would you still stay? Would you still choose that person? Guys, welcome to the live. Like the live, guys. Can we have one person like the live so we can get to like 10? Bob says friends have been more of help than uncles. Let me tell you, period. Strangers out here have been more helpful than friends and than family. You know, you come out here, you create your own friend groups, maybe even your partner, somebody that you're not even related but they love you. They create opportunities for you. They love you for you. They support your dreams. Let me tell you, even this YouTube thing, when your family member, thank you for the like, okay? Welcome to the live, guys. My name is Wamboy. Keep liking and subscribing. Let me tell you, even this YouTube stuff, like coming on here and doing YouTube, some of your family members will see you doing this and they think that that's so clingy or something, or like they're even so ashamed that you're doing this and you don't have views, or like you're trying to build something. I just realized strangers will support you more than family will ever do. And underline that or write it somewhere. Strangers will support you more than family will ever do. Like, strangers will tell you opportunities that there is. Strangers will support you wholeheartedly. Strangers will love your aura, your energy, you know. Because I've seen it even with this channel. There are people who show up here that I really do not know them. We just met on this channel. Like, I do believe strangers will support you more than family will ever do. Like, I see people showing up. Some of you, like Bob, Dimas, everyone, okay, Tony, Ian. I see people showing up. People that have never met me in real life. People that will never maybe meet me, but they still show up and they like your energy, and that's it. Bob says, I'm the one marrying the person. If my parents aren't giving genuine reasons, I'll ignore them. And you know what? That's it. Because sometimes you'll miss out on a great person just because your parents are saying this or that. I think gone are those days where, yeah, gone are those days. Gone are those days where like we are bending ourselves for family. Gone are those days where like you're telling yourself no for your family, you know. They can have good intentions, but then at the same time, you know if what that means to you. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Womboy. Like the live, share the love, serve the queen. Dima says family tends to want you to stay at their level, and when you don't, the first thing out of their mouths is, so you think you're better than the rest of us. And that's it. Okay, you see, as far as you're below them, you're good. Okay, as far as you're below them, you're their friend. But when you try to rise up, when you try to do better, they're there to discourage you. I think especially when you're pursuing a dream or something that you've wanted to do for a long time, you literally should not be telling your family members what you're trying to do. Because they will crush your dreams. Even some friends are like that, but families are actually the worst. Especially if somebody doesn't want you to do something, they will literally discourage you. Like, how does that work? They will sell fear to you. They will tell you that doesn't work like that. They will tell you like, oh, you try that, that might happen. You see, they will just have excuses here and there. So yeah, when you're staying at their level, you're good. Her family tend to want you to stay at their level, and when you don't, the first thing out of their mouths is, so you think you're better than us. Okay, or even if they don't say that, you will hear it from someone saying that you think you're better than them. They will stop being friends with you. They will stop thinking that you're cool. They will say that you're pretending, or like uh you've changed. See, they'll say you've changed, you're not the person that they knew, you know. Dima says to Bob, honest question, because I actually respect your thoughts. What would you consider to be a genuine reason from your parents that would dissuade you from marrying or dating someone? Wow, an interesting question to Bob. Okay. First of all, most of the time our parents normally judge by looking. So they might look at somebody, they see, oh, this person won't take care. Okay, for a man, they might look at a woman and they're like, this woman, she's for the streets. Okay, but literally they do not know that. How do you know that I am for the streets and you don't know me? I can have tattoos all over, I can have piercings that suggest so, I can have my tongue pierced and stuff, but that doesn't communicate who I am. Okay, and when it comes to guys, your parents might look at the guy and they're like, this person doesn't look like they're gonna protect you. This person doesn't look like they are financially stable. They might say that. Okay, notice they are looking out for you, but they really do not know. Okay, they really do not know. Okay. Bob says, I'd consider warnings about personality traits a genuine reason. Okay, okay, guys, what reasons would your parents give for you to leave your partner, or like for you to be like, you know what, I don't want to be with you? I'd consider one personality traits. Okay, personality, especially if they spend time with him or her, is one thing. But if it's just like looking at a person, you know, you can look at me. For example, I have seen so many of you judging me from the screen. You look at me and you just assume this, you just assume that. But you don't know somebody unless you know them. You really don't know somebody unless you've interacted with them on a personal level. But see, some of our parents, what they do, they look at a man that you bring home and they're like, oh, this one doesn't look like he's financially stable. Okay, this one looks abusive. And vice versa, when your parents are looking at the woman you want to marry, they're looking at her. She has tattoos, she's not a wife material. Okay, she has nails. Nails, I don't have nails at the moment. She has nails, then that's not a wife material. She's wearing a lot of earrings, she's not wife material. So see, such things you should be looking out for. Because, and also let me tell you, some siblings, okay, I do believe most parents have the genuine interest. They are telling you this because they have the your interest at heart. But some siblings, some aunts, some uncles, some cousins will give you bad advice to leave someone because they really don't want you to experience good love. They really don't want you to experience being loved right, you know. uh so like so Bob says, so like if they actually interacted with them and pointed out traits I can notice. Okay, that is another thing. But first of all, when you get with somebody, when you start sleeping with them, you already know their personality traits. So why is it such a shocker? Why is it such a shocker? Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. Like the live. Let's get some 15 likes in here. You know, we are talking about how to deal with toxic family members. Let me know your opinions. Let me know what you think. Let me know, would you, when your parents tell you this person is not the best for you, would you believe it? Would you, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, this person is not the best for you. What would you do when it comes to that? Uh, Dema says, personality traits are relative. What traits they might see, they may not have noticed. You okay? And also, first of all, the other thing, you might even be attracted to that trait. Maybe something that they notice in me, that's the thing that attracted you, you know? Dema says, you ever notice how single people tend to find tons of reasons why you should dump someone? Okay, and you know, it could be even your cousin or your friends telling you, your single friends advising you, oh God, that man is a walking red flag. You know, leave that man. God, walking red flag. Okay, leave that woman. She's not a wife material. She's not. You know, let me tell you, no bad blood against single friends. But mostly people telling you to leave your man are actually single people. People who are not even in a relationship are the ones that are telling you, walk, especially maybe you already have a kid by a particular man and they're telling you to leave. Or maybe they're single mothers and they want you to become single mothers like them. There's so many reasons. That cannot be the only explanation, okay? Erwin Stress, he says, can pray for me. Okay. Pray for you. Pray for you. Okay, maybe I'll pray for you. What do you want to me to pray for you for? Okay. Diana says, I respect my mother's opinions more than anything. But to be honest, I can't imagine her finding anything wrong that I haven't seen and accepted on my own. Okay, some of these things that they are seeing in a person, you saw them and you are like, I can deal with that. That's okay. Rodrigo Mogol Uribe says, hi Rodrigo. Bob says, so let's assume my parents point out that my potential wife holds a grudge. I'll take that into consideration and ask myself if the good traits in her can cover that. Wow. And you know, some parents are just looking for beef or argument with your partner. So I think it's literally a double-edged sword. What you do to do with it, like, do you choose when your parent tells you, oh, this partner is not best for you? What do you choose to do with that? Guys, if you're just joining in, my name is Womboy. Like, subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bob says, so let's assume my parents point out that my potential wife holds a grudge. Okay. You know, and you know your wife or the person or your husband, your potential husband, they are also human and your parents are also human. So which means it could be like they just don't like them, or like they don't like who they are. Maybe they don't like the color of their skin. They don't like the way they talk. There's so many things that you can talk about when you think about that. So there's this whole cultural expectation about loyalty to family. Like, especially out here in African countries, you gotta be loyal to your family. Like, that's what we are told. But how long do you get loyal? How long do you get loyal to somebody who punches you? How do you become loyal? Or how long? How much is too much to say, you know what? To heck with this loyalty. I don't want anything to do with this loyalty, okay? You find out that somebody is punching you, somebody is like hitting you. How long is like, you know what, we have this commitment, blood is thicker than water, you know? How long do you take that? Okay, how long do you take the disrespect from family members before saying, you know what, enough is enough, I choose myself? Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. We're talking about how to deal with difficult or toxic family members. Like, let me know your opinions. Okay, like the live, share the love, and subscribe. Okay. Bob says, yeah, your parents not approving is a tough situation. Okay, I think I believe that. Diamonds to Bob, that's a good point. I can honestly see a person not seeing that, especially when the grudge isn't directed towards you. Okay, okay. Or maybe your partner is looking for revenge. There's so many things, because first of all, your partner should never disrespect your parents. That's one thing. But I feel like most men do miss that. Most men have women who disrespect their parents. So your partner should never disrespect your parents, and your parents should never disrespect your partner. There should be mutual respect. There should be mutual respect, because at the end of the day, the family that you make is more important than the family that you come from. Because the family that you make, that's your family. The family that you come from, that's their family, although you're part of that family. But the one that you make, that's your family. That's your family. So, which means it can be literally more important. The family that you make, guys, which family is important? The one that you make or the one that you come from? Which one is more important? I know both of them are important, but which one is more important, or which one should you take more seriously? The one that you come from or the one that you make? Maybe this might be our. Diamond says, what do you do when there is mutual disrespect? You can't even tell who started it. Let them fight. That can be tricky for a man. I don't know. Maybe you take your woman and walk away or stuff. Guys, which family is more important? The one that you come from or the one that you make? So the one that you make is your husband and the husband, wife, and children, or husband and wife, or husband and husband, wife and wife. You know what I'm saying with the whole inclusion stuff. So which family is more important? The one that you make or the one that you come from? According to your opinion. Wow, this can be interesting. You know what? This is a tough question. It's literally a tough question. But I believe by the end of the day, by the end of the day, or like by the end of your life, you realize the family that you make is more important than anything. Because people, at the end of the day, like your siblings have their wives and children, you have your wife or your husband and children. So at the end of the day, what's gonna matter is your wife and children, or your husband and children. Because these people are gonna be so busy with their family. Okay, they're gonna be so busy with their family. So what are you gonna do, guys? If you're just tuning in, like the live and subscribe. MC 1980 says both. Okay, but which one is more important? Which one is more important? The family that you make or the family that you come from? Which one is more important? The family that you make or the family that you come from? Wow. I think both. But which one is more important? Like, you have to choose one. I think both are very important. MC says, as you need your family to help you out as well as the one you make. I know, but which one matters at the end of the day? I think the one that you make matters at the end of the day. Who are gonna be by your deathbed? The one that you make, because most of the time most of the time the parents pass away before your time, or before it's time for you to pass away. So at the end of the day, your kids are gonna be there for you. Your children are gonna be, your wife is gonna be, your husband is gonna be there for you. Let me keep reading. Daima says, wow, these questions are getting harder, but I would have to go with the family I make, because when the family I come from is dead and gone, who will I still have? Okay, me too. I think the one that you come from is very important, because that's who you are. Guys, like the live, okay? Like the live, share the love, sub the queen. I think the family that you come from is important, because that's who you are. That's where you come from. But the one that you make, that's your people. Like most of the time, they're gonna be there until you're dead or something. Because by the time you're getting to a point where you need help, your siblings are gonna be having their wives or their husbands. They're gonna be so busy with their own life, with their wives, with their husbands, with their children. They won't have time for you. So who will matter? Your wife, your husband, your children. Okay? Bob says, if I ever have kids, I would hope my brothers would help them in their careers. If I had to choose, I'd choose the one I created because I picked them. Oh, wow! You know what? That I think that's the punchline. That's the punchline, okay? So Bob says, if I had to choose between the family that I make and the family that I come from, I'd choose the one I created because I picked them. And you know what? That's huge. That's huge, but we don't realize that. The one that you make, you choose these people, okay? But the one that you come from, these are just these are just people that you found yourself in a situation with them. Your siblings, you didn't choose those people, you found yourself with them. You found them there. Okay? Like, wow, you know what? That's literally the punchline. So me too, if I had to choose the family that I come from or the family that I make, I would go with the one that I make. I think the one that I come from is important. Like, my parents are important to me, my mom is important to me and stuff. But the one that I make, that's a choice that I make, a conscious one. Daniel, okay. Daniel Divers, Bob Manuel, but what's wrong with me? Maybe I need a like. Maybe I need a like so that my lips can sink. What? Bob said, oh, Diva says to Bob, very wise. Don't Lord, this is why nobody likes you. Okay. Okay, so you guys, I think that will be the punchline for our live today. I think to conclude, at the end of the day, you know what's best for you, you know, but I do believe that we should be looking for better than like staying in toxic situations. And some of us, where it's very difficult to tell our families no, it's very difficult for us to walk away. We should heal from whatever is troubling us so that we can be able to walk away, so that we can be able to choose the situations that we are in. MC says the Demas is like the live, share the love, sub the queen Hujambo from Kenya. Thank you. MC says the family you come from should never do the dirty on you, but the women you choose could do. Oh wow! And you know that's another wow. The family that you come from will always be there, constant. But the one that you create, they can mess you up. They can walk away. God, that's another thing. It's, you know what? I think we already had the punchline when Bob says the family that you create, those are the people that you pick. But the way MC 1980 is saying, the family that you come from is important because they are gonna be there constantly. They won't walk away. But the one that you create, they can walk away. That's why I say both. Wow, you won. So both families are important. So I think it's important for us to know how to balance out. And you know one thing that I've realized, your family, most of the time your family will always be there, especially the ones that you come from, they will always be there. But you cannot count on that not to create your own family. So it's, now you got me thinking. Fellow P says, hello. Sorry I'm late. What did I miss? I was asking a question. Which is more important, the family that you come from or the family that you create? Which one is more important, the family that you come from or the one that you create? So that's what you missed. And we've been talking about toxic family members, or like how do you deal with difficult family members. I've talked about how it's very difficult for me to cut off my family even if they're being toxic. We've talked about how do you set boundaries when it comes to toxic family members. How do you say no without feeling guilty? We've also talked about life choices, career, the way parents are so stuck in the traditional ways. And also we've talked about like when it comes to choosing love, your parents could literally say no. Okay. So how do you deal with that? But literally the question that we just asked before you joined in is, which is more important, the family that you create or the one that you come from? Diamonds to MC 1980 says, wow, okay, that's another good thought. I told her this was a hard one. Anyone else? You know, my head hurts because think about it. Your mom is always gonna be there. Your dad, your parent could be jerks or they could be idiots. But at the end of the day, even if they are idiots, they have the best interest in their hearts. Like they love you, they will always be there, they will always show up. I think I do see that with like the way I feel about my siblings. Sometimes they are jerks, sometimes they are not the best, but at the end of the day when they are having an issue, I feel like you just feel like this urge of showing up. You just feel like this urge of helping them out for absolutely no reason. Guys, welcome to the live. You're just joining live. Stop being mean with your likes. Can we have somebody like? Okay. MC says, I deal with family the same as anyone. If they do me wrong, let them go their own way. Having nothing to do with them. Okay, MC, I would like to know where you're from because we all would like to have that mentality. But in African countries, that's close to impossible. Right now, this generation, we are learning how to let go of our family. Let me tell you, even in African households, do you know you cannot even communicate your truth? Let's say somebody was being abusive, somebody was being violent. You cannot communicate your truth because they have gaslit you to keeping quiet, to staying quiet, to tolerating situations that you're not supposed to be in. MC says, I'm English. I see that. Okay, that's mindset cannot come from an African person. I'm trying, you know, and I think that's why it's important for me to have this conversation because by just seeing how you guys show up, how you guys choose yourself. I have my American fiance and I see how he handles that. The people that I talk to on the channel, they always say that they can walk away, but just realizing that I'm not able to do that. Guys, welcome to the live. Like, subscribe, okay? Hit that subscribe button. Wow, you know what? God, I literally need to sign up to a therapist because some of the family members that I still tolerate to date, they literally do not deserve me. And I'm not saying that I'm the best person. I'm just saying that I'm not that toxic. Some people are just so toxic, so abusive. And you know, we have this whole thing in African countries, or like for example in Kenya, or let me talk about my family. We have this whole thing where things will happen, we don't talk about them, we just move on. We just move on from these things. And you know, I'm so sick and tired of like persevering. Okay, fellow Piso says, well, my family is a big one, but we are divided. We only gather for funerals. Now this is funny. Well, my family is a big one, but we are divided. We only gather for funerals and ceremonies, etc. But the bonding part, being a family is not, you know, I think that's what we do need. You know, my family, we used to be so close. My father's side of the family, okay? And I just hope that they never watch these videos that I make on here because I'll be in danger. Okay, so my father's side of the family, we were so united like this. I think my grandmother passed away in the year 2014. So we always had family gatherings. We always gathered there, you know what I'm saying? We were always like, and then my grandmother passes away. We did have like 2 more family gatherings, and then the differences were too much that we just decided. Remember, we live in one land. We do multi-generational living in our house, so which means we are just this close to each other. We live next door to everybody, apart from the sisters who got married. But at the end of the day, we just decided, like the way fellow Pisos is saying, we just decided everybody to live their life. We only meet along the road, or like we say hi on top of the fence or stuff like that. So I can see that, but it's really sad. Because when family becomes all about competition, when family becomes all about uh, competition, it becomes all about ego games, it cannot work. Okay, wow. Optimistic says Kenyan woman, just the voice you will know. Okay, oh yes, I'm Kenyan. Optimistic, I'm from Ghana. Welcome, welcome, welcome on here, welcome on board. MC 1980 says speak your mind, be true to yourself and your values, and always do what is right or best for you. Wow, I really want to do that. God, I didn't need to sign up to a therapist because I think sometimes you just need to let go of the idea of having the family. You know, sometimes some of us, we are not staying in these toxic situations because these people are family. We are staying because we are used to the idea of, like, quote unquote, having family or the family feeling. Diamond says, I would still pick my wife, but admittedly my parents can never cheat on you. You know, your parents will never cheat on you. That's a constant. Fellow officers is just laughing. Diamond says, I think we are related. Diamonds to fellow pieces, I think we are related. Bob says, I don't see extended family often. Don't even know what most of them look like. Wow. I think even for me, extended, what do you mean when you say extended? Because for me, extended family, okay, we always had family gatherings, like our parents and their siblings. We are really close, or like we see each other often. Okay, but when it comes to cousins of the mother, of the father, those people even don't know how, most of them I don't know how they look like, and I really do not care about them that deep. But when it comes to siblings, to your parents, that's what we're talking about, the cousins, which means the siblings and then their children. So that's what we are talking about. Honestly, right now I really do not care. The type of mess that I'm dealing with right now is the nuclear one. But still, you can find out that there are siblings that are really toxic. Okay, siblings that are really toxic. When you think about it, you just wonder, why am I putting up with this person? Okay. Bob says, took my uncle's number at an event. He hasn't responded to any messages or calls. Okay, why would you take his number? Let him stay with his number. Okay, let me tell you, gosh, like, I don't know, I just grew a hard head. I used to be somebody who was taught how to respect elders. I cannot talk back to my aunts and uncles. I cannot communicate my mind. But at this point, I'm just tired. I really do not care about these people. Or I care, but at the same time, I don't care. Fellow priestess says to Dimas, yeah, man, it's really sad. And since I was born, it's always been like that, and I doubt it will change. It's all high and out. Okay, where are you from, fellow priestess, if you don't mind? Because I'm guessing you're not from any African country. Okay, because I think we are so obsessed with the whole idea of family. I was saying that one of the reasons that I would like to, like, adopt, like, an American lifestyle or stuff, because I don't want to be close to these people, and I don't want it to be weird. I don't want to be close to family, but at the same time I don't want it to be weird. So which is why I admire the American lifestyle or stuff. And also, I don't want to be held down by culture. Like, culture says, respect your aunt, respect your uncle, respect the father of your dad, or, all these things. I really want, and you know what? In African countries, your parent or your uncle, your aunt, they can give you a curse. Can you imagine that? A life where, like, your relatives can give you a curse. So you have to be really respectful. That's why I'm saying they should not see this video. MC says, don't put up with anyone that does have your best interest at heart. And I think you meant to say that does not have your best interest at heart. Unfortunately, many of these people don't have best interest at heart. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. Like the live, share the love, sub the queen. Okay, so you know what, MC? I think most people do not have best interest at heart when it comes to family. They really do not have best interest at heart. We just put up with these people because they are family. Guys, welcome to the live. Like. Diamond says to fellow pieces, yeah, though as kids we were all fairly close, but by the time we cousins were in our teens, you only saw relatives on special occasions, and they were strangers. Do even right now, do people even show up for the special occasions anymore? We really do not care. Diamonds, it's like the live share the love sub the queen. You know, let me tell you, at some point I think when you're kids, everything is beautiful, like you are close to everybody, like everybody is talking to everybody. But let me tell you, at some point people even pass away and you don't attend the burial, and like, because these people are strangers to you. Okay. I think if I ever had children, and we all know that I'm not gonna be having children, if I ever had children, or if I ever have children, you know what I'm saying, I think I would want them to see the relatives as people. I don't want them to idolize relatives. I want them to see them as people. And when somebody is being unfair to you, you need to say no. You need to walk away. I don't want them to be like me, to adopt my habits of putting up with people that really do not care about me. So I think the way I would raise them, I think first of all, I would actually, you know what? I would take like 10, let's say 7 years. I would not introduce my kids to the relatives until they're 7 and they can make their own judgment. And then after they're 7, when I introduce them, my kids are allowed to say like, I don't like the energy that I felt with this person. Because I feel like most of the time when you introduce your kids to the relatives when they are really young, they they kind of feel obligated to stay in these people's lives. So that's another thing. uh Diamond says, like the live share the love sub the queen. Simeon Benguma says, are you on WhatsApp? No, but why does that matter? Musa says, hello to you, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy, you guys. So we are literally having some, we are not having fun, but then at the same time, I didn't you guys have opened my eyes to so many things in terms of like putting up with family, entertaining stuff. So let me be more direct. Maybe by doing so, let me be more direct. When your sibling, okay, let's say you have a sister or you have a brother, is being what is it called, abusive, maybe physically, emotionally, or like psychologically, or like maybe vulgar language and stuff like that. So do you cut, okay, we have been talking about relative, but can you cut your sibling off? Like, you're like, this person's energy doesn't match with mine, so can you cut your sibling off? Okay. I'm usually so afraid to talk about, to go deep, or like to be honest on here when it comes to other people, or like when it comes to family. But that's actually an honest question, and it's actually for me. When you have an abusive sibling, or like you have an abusive family member, uh, and they don't appreciate you, or they don't appreciate themselves, so they don't appreciate you. So how do you deal with that? MC says, you know what? You know who the good family members are. Only show the kids to this, keep them away from the bad people. It's that easy. You know who the good family members are. Oh, only show the kids to this, to to the good people. That, okay? Yeah, but you know what? It would be nice for them to decide, like to see the relatives, all of them. Is good for them, for my kid to see these people as strangers. That would be nice, because at the end of the day, now they end up choosing, do I want to have this person in my life? Fellow Piso says to Dimas, you're really a carbon copy of me, really. What you've just said is exactly my way of life. During Christmas, you used to gather, not often, but now family gatherings, what's that? Huh? What's that? Let me tell you, last Christmas, I had options to go somewhere, but I didn't. I just stayed here. I wish I had started going live on here and you could see. I honestly just stayed in the house. People were traveling back and forth to their villages, to their towns, to where their family is. But I didn't see any need in that, because What? It was more peaceful staying in my own little apartment, having your peace, watching your movie shows that you want to watch, scrolling, okay, and bothered, okay, thinking about your dreams, thinking about what you're gonna be setting your mind to next year. You know, I think that's more important than going and sitting in a family gathering with people that you literally don't like. You guys secretly hate each other. You know what I'm saying? Fellow Peace says, I'm from South Africa, by the way. Wow, interesting. Interesting. Wow, wow. Welcome, welcome on here, guys. My name is Wamboy. Like the live. We need somebody to like the live, okay? MC 1980 says, like a simple example, people in England get mixed up in drugs. My kids never see them. Never. Wow. Oh, wow. Let me tell you, it's interesting that you brought that up. This okay, my fiance, he was telling me like the reason he doesn't meet up with people after they haven't been seeing each other for a long time. Let's say they lost contact for like 10 years. It could be brother, it could be sister, it could be niece, nephew, or anyone. He doesn't hang around those people. When you come back after you've disappeared for like 10 years, he doesn't know you because he doesn't know what type of things you've been into. Like, he doesn't know what drugs you're doing right now. He doesn't know what's your faith right now. And I can see that, okay? I can see that. First of all, I was so lost. Like, I don't care how long somebody is gone. I don't care if they're gone for 10 years or 15 years. If you are related with this person, you are literally related. So that was my mentality. Like, but his mentality is like, if you lose contact with somebody for so long, even if they're family, you shouldn't allow them next to you without first of all learning who they are. Because it could be a danger, because you don't know what they've been into, you know? Yeah, so it's literally interesting to see you guys' perspective, seeing. But I realize what I've realized from this, African people, we are so obsessed with like, and maybe Indians, we are so obsessed with the idea of family, or like the idea of staying intact, that we keep staying in toxic situations. We keep staying in situations that doesn't do not serve us. We keep entertaining people, and you know what? We have this whole phrase of like, oh, that's just how this person is. That's who they are. You need to love them for who they are anyway. So it's just literally so interesting to see that, and like to see what you guys think when it comes to these topics. So, you know, and there's another question that maybe I meant to ask on here. Do parents and siblings deserve to know everything about your life? Do parents and siblings deserve to know everything about your life? Let me try and see if I can type that quick. And when we are at that, to know. Oh, wow. I thought Dimas disappeared. Thank you. Okay. Okay, let me keep reading. IMC 1980 says English people are the same about family, but not taking. Okay, okay, wow. But that's interesting. Like you are so into, you're so into family, but then at the same time you're not gonna tolerate disrespect. Guys, if you're just tuning in, like. Diana says, I was about to say that when a person has been gone for a while, you don't know what that might bring into your life. I've heard about a long lost cousin showing up and then cops show up. Wow. But it's interesting. I've never seen like I have never seen it that way, because for me, in my mind, if somebody is family, they are family. Like, they're family. Like, I never overthink about it, even if they show up after 30 years. In my mind, they're still family. So, but it's good to see it that way. When I went to university, I went to, you know, we are from central Kenya, or like somewhere where, yeah, central Kenya or Mount Kenya. And then I moved to western Kenya, somewhere near Uganda, or it's close proximity to Uganda than to anything. So when I moved there, there's one of my aunts. She's literally a cousin to my mom. I had never seen her my whole entire life. Never ever seen her. I only heard stories about her because she got married so far away from where we stay. She got so married, so nobody ever saw her. We only had stories about her. We only heard who she was, how she looked like, maybe examples of how she looked like. When I moved there, I moved to some place called Eldoret, where I was going to university, and then because it's closer to where she got married to, she contacted me, and like my mom told me you can go to her. And you know what? I traveled all the way from Eldoret. I traveled all the way from Eldoret to where she stays, some place called Webuye, which is actually near Uganda than anything. So I traveled all the way there. I didn't know how she looked like. I didn't have a. We were just calling each other. Can you see me? Can you see me? And I finally saw her. When I saw her, she asked me if my name was Wamboy, and I said yes. And oh, your auntie, blah blah blah. We went to the house, and was the first time that I ever saw her. Like I looked her, and I saw she was the she looked familiar, or like she looked like our family. But see, the way this person is, the way Dimas is saying, like you don't meet people like that. I have never had that mentality because I've met family that I didn't know in the past. And after that scenario, we kept meeting over and over again. I kept going to her place, and I had never seen her for my whole 18 years. Never seen her because, of course, I moved there when I was 18. Okay, let's continue. Dimas, I win. Yeah, you win. You literally do. Fellow Pieces says a big no. You know? Okay, guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Kindly like, subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are talking about family. How do you deal with toxic family members? How do you deal with difficult family members? And at the same time, I asked you guys, what is more important to you, the family that you create or the family that you come from? And so let us know your opinion. Give us some of your insights. MC 1980 says, no, my mom doesn't need to know that I roasted my Mrs. last night and this one. Okay, you know. Guys, I'm asking a question. Do parents and siblings deserve to know everything about your life? Do parents and siblings deserve to know everything about your life? And guys, well, we are at it before I forget. If you want to appear on the screen, or like you want to like collaborate with me, not literally collaborate, it could just for you to have some place to speak. You can message me on Instagram, or you can look on my YouTube thing. You can reach me out on email, and maybe we can have you on the screen. We can do the live together, and you can give your insights. Maybe if you would be interested, you can reach out to me. Okay. But do you know there are people who tell their parents everything? MC 1980. There are people who tell their parents everything, like even the way your sex life is and stuff like that. There are people who are really that close to their parents. Diva says to MC 1980, I'm not sure any of us needed to know that. Okay. We didn't. That is too much information. What are we supposed to do with that? Like the live, share the love, sub the queen. Like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe, guys. Guys, if you want, you want to come to my channel, or like you want, maybe it could be just for you to have some place to come and talk. Reach me out. And then we are when I'm starting the live, I'm gonna tell you the exact time that I'm starting, and you're supposed to be there. And yeah, we do a live together. Like the live, share the love, sub the queen. MC says, I knew that would make you laugh. Okay, that was too much information, mister. Never says, I want to volunteer. I don't know if Bob is still here. Okay. Oh wow. Do parents? Okay, you guys, we all are laughing at MC, but we're not saying do parents and siblings deserve to know everything about your life, according to your opinion. Do they deserve to know everything about your life? You know what? I used to be somebody who is so open, or like open, especially to my mom. Like I tell her almost everything. Okay, we have like a limit in African traditions. You don't discuss sex life with your mom or your parents. Right now, you literally can. We have limitations. You don't tell them you have started sleeping with people. Especially, let me tell you, when I started having my periods, actually, you know what? When I was in high school, me personally, I was such a late bloomer, or like I never had my periods until later on. So, of course, when I was going back to school, they did buy me some pads, and I know this is too much information, but I think for context, okay, they did buy me some pads. So in school, I had roommates. We had roommates, or like we did share a cube in high school. And all the girls, I saw them wearing pads and changing pads. So you know what? I just started wearing. And I didn't have periods. I just started wearing, like I would wake up and just wear my pad. And I'm not having periods. And then I would wear it every day the whole month. Okay, but you know what? It's because we never had such conversations. I actually learned from my friends in high school, or my roommates in high school, that like you don't wear every day. And when my periods actually just started, we never had any conversation because it was so taboo, like so taboo. Okay, so I said all of that to say, do parents and siblings deserve to know everything about your life? I think no, but and then so why I gave that information. So at some point, we started being close, and I started sharing. Oh, maybe I'm seeing this and that, stuff like that. But at the same time, I do believe there's limitations, because especially when you're telling them everything, now they just have too much information on you, or like, and I think you are inviting maybe discouragements, them seeing life in their own through their own eyes. You know what I'm saying? MC says it was just plain example of why we don't need to share everything now. Okay. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, we don't need to be sharing everything. Diamond says absolutely not. Nobody other than your spouse has a right to know anything about you. Other than what you want them to know. That's true. Like, of course, your spouse should have unlimited information. So I see people saying that they don't share some things with their spouse, and I'm like, you guys are sharing the most private moment. You guys are having the most intimate moments in this life. How would you say that you cannot share this or that with your spouse, and you guys are having that? Okay. Pivot Fitness Center says, hello to you. Good to see you. Welcome to the live. How are you doing? What's your idea, or like what's your thought on what we are talking about? Do your parents and siblings deserve to know everything about your life? So that's a question that we are asking. Yes. So fellow Piso says, nope. They don't need to know everything. Some things are better being a secret. There are times you'd experience something you have to deal with alone. And I think that's it. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be about intimacy or sex or something. I think it doesn't have to be about intimacy. It doesn't have to be about sex. Sometimes it's all about, sometimes you're even pursuing something that is just better off you tell them when it's on the other side. Or we saw, okay, for people who are born Christians, or people who are Christians, in the Bible we saw Joseph. I really don't know the Bible so well, but there's this song that says, dreams, you should keep dreams to yourself, because when you can tell people and then they crash the dream, or like they steal the dream from you. Because you can see Joseph, and I don't know the Bible so well, so when I make a mistake, let me know. We can see Joseph in the Bible. He was telling his dreams to his siblings, to his brothers, thinking that these people want the best for him. But you have to realize that your siblings, they are human beings. Okay? Your siblings are human beings. Your parents are human beings. Okay. I doubt if your parents would want the worst for you. But sometimes siblings, you're in competition mode. So it's just good sometimes when you don't share. Or wait until your dreams ripens. wait until you get to the other side and tell them, I did this or I accomplished this, I've been pursuing this. Because sometimes you'll tell them too early, and then it just kills your dream or what you want to do. uh yeah. MC says, another example, serious now. Say like you go to your parents and say, we are arguing, we have fell out and I'm unhappy. And this happens a few times. It makes your family start to feel bad towards your partner. Oh my God. And that's it. You know, we do need, or people need to stop like telling other people, you know, first of all, you're the one who is in love with your partner. Okay. You're the one who feels this way about your partner. So whenever you go tell your parents, you tell your siblings, they start to judge the partner, to like dislike them. You know, at the end of the day, you guys are gonna agree, you guys are gonna hug it out, you're gonna make out, and that thing will be behind you. You're gonna forgive them because you love them, you know how they make you feel and stuff. But your family will never forgive them because they don't have intimacy with them. They don't love, okay, they love them because you love them, but to them is just another person, but to you that's your partner. So I think even when you argue with your partner, you shouldn't share. You shouldn't share with people unless you're sure that you guys are separating. uh Diana says, I choose not to share something with my girlfriend, but because we were so close, she knew something was off, and what she thought was worse than what it was. We were both relieved when I told her. Oh, wow. Wow, good for you. Good for you. Because, first of all, if you don't tell her, like, of course, yeah, I think for your partner, you should tell them everything or what you're comfortable with, but almost everything. Because that actually makes you feel closer. It makes you feel like this person knows you on another level, like your connection is so close. It makes you feel that way. But when you're having a distance, when you're not telling them something, then there's that space, and you guys should be like, "Fuck." Okay. Oh, Mark Harry says, why are you telling people your business? Okay, first of all, these are scenarios that I'm reading from the chat. Okay, and even if I told people my business, I'm telling them the business that I want to put out there. Okay, and if you're answering to our question, okay, so people can share what they want to share. Maybe something that you consider to be my business is not my business, or like, you know, you guys have this whole thing of believing people on the internet, like when somebody says something that's true. So yeah, I'm telling my business because I want to. uh Diamonds, why are you imposing your ways on others? MC 1980 says, I have a good question for you to ask. Oh, bring it on, bring it on. Fellow Princess says, and jealousy is essential as human being. As a South African, telling siblings or cousins that, for example, you bought a house or car or you got a job, that's where division and jealousy starts. Yeah, and it's really unfortunate that the people who are supposed to be celebrating you, they will start feeling some type of way. You start telling them, oh, I'm pursuing this and it's really working out for me. They will be looking for ways to pull you down, and that's really unfortunate that, like, when you tell your family, you tell your cousins, you tell your siblings what's happening with you, they can have some level of jealousy. Okay, honestly, me personally, I've never felt jealousy towards any of my siblings. I really want them to be doing well in life, but I've realized that, like, who I am as a person, that doesn't mean that's who they are. You can even tell your sibling or your cousin you have this amount of money, and by the end of the day, you get attacked, but you don't. Yeah, so it's really unfortunate that that happens, but it happens. MC 1980 says, what is your most embarrassing situation you've been in? Ask that to all and you will have some good fun. Okay, okay, we have a question right here. Let me pin it. What's your most embarrassing situation you've been in? Guys, answer that. Before we close the live, I'm gonna maybe share mine. I think I've been in so many embarrassing situations. So Mark Hubi, that wasn't a question, and don't play that passive aggressive games. Fellow Piso says, it's weird, I know, but that is what is happening. Okay? Okay? You know, that's what happens, like the whole jealousy stuff and stuff. Mark Herbie says, Diamonds, well, tough luck, kill. Diamonds to MC in 1980. If I answered that question, this would become my most embarrassing moment. Yes! Now you must answer. We need to know. We need to know what is your most embarrassing moment. So let's start with you, MC 1980. Tell us your most embarrassing moment. And everyone, I am even trying to think, what is my most embarrassing moment? Most embarrassing moment. Wow. God. Honestly, I haven't had embarrassing moments recently, but okay, guys, let's hear from you guys. What's your most embarrassing moment? Ooh, I think I have a lot from the past. It's kind of like I've healed. That's how you know you've healed, when you don't remember your most embarrassing moments. Oh God. Fellow pieces, Damas versus, okay. Damas doesn't play about me. He will take on a fight for the queen. I'll only tell if MC90 is worse or at least as good. No, me personally, I don't think. You know, I think for most women, mostly is usually around their sexuality, or like, oh, period. Maybe you messed. I have never done that, or like stuff like that. But I think one of my most embarrassing moments is like I was trying to shake somebody's hand, or like we were like this, and they didn't shake it back, and it's in public. I was left like, see. So that's my most embarrassing moment, I think so. Diamond says to, I am a Samuri, I've already won. Okay, guys, if you want us to read your most embarrassing moment before we close, guys, and if you're just joining in, my name is Womboy. Thank you for joining in. We normally go live every day, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So you can always be looking for me for at that hour. So it's subscribe so that you can get notified, watch the videos, interact. You know, we are just getting started. We are just building a family on here, and you guys, you better be part of the foundation, okay? uh Fellow officer says, congratulations, absolute cinema, I saw it all. Let fill us in or something, okay? Fill us in, man. Ah, like the live, share the love, sub the queen, guys. Welcome to the live. We are gonna be ending the live very soon. We normally end at 2 hours. We're already at 1 hour 53 minutes. MC 1980 says, go downstairs and show my face. Ah! Yes, we are waiting for your most embarrassing moment. Okay? Ah, wow. You know what, you guys? I am so proud. Like, when I joined on here and we started the live, I literally had no energy to me. God, I can't even believe. I started this live and I am just feeling so better. Like, I am feeling as if like I was having a conversation with a friend. Guys, if you still want to appear on my show, or like here on the live, just for you to communicate, maybe to have one-on-one with one boy back and forth, reach me out, okay? Or like contact me, and then we can have you on the screen, okay? MC 1980 says, I still pass them in the street now. Oh, go downstairs and show my face. Or I still pass them in the street now, 20 years later, and still feel daft. Okay, did we miss something? Go downstairs and show my face. I think we missed something. Did you send a message that didn't make it through? Oh God, maybe you need to recopy it. Go above and beyond. I'm trying. Oh, it didn't make it through. Oh, maybe you should look change the words. YouTube does stuff like that. Oh, it's too much to write again. Oh God, and we really wanna hear. Oh yeah, YouTube. Oh my Lord. Oh, can you please do that for us? It's very advisable when you're typing something here on YouTube, you need to copy it before you like post, because most of the time it won't post. YouTube is very strict with the words. You might even use one word and it's like they find a problem with it. Wow, guys, welcome to the live. If you haven't like the live, share the love, sub the queen. Oh my God, you see, everybody's waiting for you. So should we give you some time, or like you are gonna tell us on another live? But I think we are just so curious to know right now. Oh, lived at home. They changed rooms, and I went out, got drunk, and ended up in her mom's bed. I was so embarrassed. Oh wow! What? What? Actually, you know what? Oh my God! Her mom's bed. She hit me low. Oh my God! You know what? You won on the embarrassing. Actually, I think I told you guys that I don't have an embarrassing moment. I think I have. I must have been like 6 years or 7 years old or something. Okay, so we used to be okay. During family gatherings, we have a very large field. We had a very large field that was just free. So we would just be told all the children to go play outside, and then when food is ready, African people like just overemphasizing the food. Like trying to make you think that uh, I thought it was my girlfriend. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. So, back to my story. What I was saying is, so we used to stay in this large field waiting for the food. You know how Africans normally overemphasize on food, especially things like chapatis, meat, because back in the day, it used to be very difficult to even be able to afford flour to cook chapatis, or even to afford meat or stuff like that. So they were cooking stuff like that. Okay, so one of my cousins, she comes and she called one of other sibling cousins, small children cousin. It was apparently it was her favorite. Okay, so me with my sane or insane mind, I'm just a child, and I really want that food. Also, I wanted the meat, I wanted the chapati. Okay, so I wake up. So remember, she's called this other cousin, and I wake up at the same time and follow them. And then she's like, I did not mean you. Oh, like sit down, not you. Oh my God, that was so embarrassing. It took me so long, like a whole lifetime to get over that. I still feel ashamed when I think about it. Wow. But let me tell you, MC 1980, your girlfriend's mom's bad. That's just that's just overboard, okay? Guys, you guys. Oh my God, that's good. That's good. God, this show was so healing. Is it healing? But it was fun. It was literally so fun. I fear doing such lives or like handling such topics, because at the end of the day, people don't like serious stuff, or like people are not that intelligent. People are not willing to talk about the serious issues or things that are literally happening in the society. But just me going on with this topic and having such an audience, you guys, you are so fun to hang around. NC says it was a genuine mistake. I couldn't believe it. Oh my god! I hope you didn't put your hand, or you didn't get intimate with her mom, because that's literally another story, getting intimate with her mom. Okay. So as I was saying, this life was so fun. I started and I was feeling down. I was having a headache, but you know what? Guess who is coming out happy? Oh my god. No, I never. Okay, that's good. That's good. So I came out more happy, and I hope you guys also enjoyed. And I believe you did enjoy, because the fact that you stayed for maybe a whole hour, whole 2 hours, that means you enjoyed. So you guys, what you can do is you can share my videos to other people. You can like, subscribe. Fellow Piso says, what I regret doing is getting heated with my sister's friend. I was caught up in the moment, but it was a long time ago. Wow. And the fact that, the embarrassing moments is like you never forget. You never forget them. They stick with you. MC 1980 says, good job, I was still drunk. Okay. Wow, wow, wow. So you guys, if you want to experience, and if you want us to continue the topic tomorrow, look for me 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Convert that to your local time, and you're gonna find me live on here. Jonathan Eguda says hi. Never says to fellow speakers. What was wrong with that? Oh, I think getting into a heated argument with your sister friend, that's what's wrong. I think that's what's wrong. Guys, if you're just joining in, like. Can we get some likes in here? Um, Friends of siblings is fair game. Oh, is it? Okay. So you guys, I think we're gonna end it right there. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Subscribe, share the video. Elisha says, hi Diva, nice to meet you from Nigeria. Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining in. You've joined in so late, but you know what? You can subscribe, and tomorrow I'm gonna be here live. So you guys, Rims movie says, before I answer, what's yours? Oh, I think I've already shared mine. We already at 2 hours, guys. I need to go. I do need to go. So you guys show up tomorrow. We're gonna have some fun on here. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, bye bye.